This is a $400 pair of headphones. And I think that's all we have to say about it. Let's jump into the review of the Audeze LCD-1 headphones. Right now, it's the most expensive headphones that I have ever used. And I don't know if it's worth it, really. Let's jump into the review. Hey guys, this is Betty from Switch and Click, and today we have a little bit of something different again. I know I've been saying that I've been wanting to get into the headphone headset space, and I think this was a really good opportunity for us to explore these higher end headphones. I mean, they are very high end compared to what I'm used to listening through and purchasing, because these are $400, and that is really crazy to even consider. We got sent the Audeze LCD-1s as a review sample, and I thought it would be a really good idea as a reference headphone to really figure out what an expensive headphone would sound like compared to the headphones that we're used to, such as the $100 range, $150, and things like that. So at this point on our website and on Jake's YouTube channel, we've compared several headphones, several headsets. We even bought a measurement rig called the Mini DSP ears to make frequency response graphs, isolation graphs, things like that, and really find a way to compare headphones to headphones in a relative manner rather than a more subjective manner. So if you're interested in seeing any of those charts, those are on our website at switchandclick.com. But we're still figuring that out and really fine-tuning the process, so forgive us. So the Audeze LCD-1 is $399. Do they live up to their price point? Should you ever buy a pair of headphones that is this expensive? Maybe, but this one, I'm not sure about that. Let's jump into what's in the box. All right, so inside the box is quite fancy looking. There's a sleeve and it falls right out of its sleeve. And the box does open up like a shoebox, and it looks really nice. It feels really nice. Inside the box, you have a hard carrying case made of pretty hard material, and it doesn't really bend when you put pressure on it. And it has quite a convenient carrying strap, and you just unzip it. So inside the carrying case, of course, you have the headphones themselves, and they come to you in a bent shape similar to the Bose headphones in that they rotate and bend to become more compact. You also get the cables, so it's a dual 3.5 millimeter to a single 3.5 millimeter cable, and it's fairly long. I believe it's 7 feet in length, and it's a braided cable, so it's pretty high quality. The ends are gold plated and they haven't messed up at all in the time that I've been using them. It also comes with a 1/4 inch adapter if you need to connect your headphones to amplifiers, musical instruments, things like that. So you have that if you need to, but these headphones are more geared towards everyday listeners, people who are going to connect these headphones to your phone, to your PC, or iPad, tablet, things like that. Not necessarily music production per se. You also get an envelope, and inside you have the certificate of authenticity, and it is signed. It has a serial number and everything, so you know that it's a high quality product. And you also have a letter that says, "Thank you for purchasing the Audeze LCD-1," and it tells you how to get started. You unfold it, insert it, listen to it, and you don't really have to worry about the impedance or sensitivity or anything like that, because it will work with pretty much anything. So that's what you get inside the box. It's not a ton of accessories. I do like the carrying case. It's really fancy. It says Audeze on it. I haven't used it at all though, because it's pretty much been hanging on a headphone stand. All right, so onto build quality. They are very lightweight and they feel extremely light on the head. I'm not gonna say comfortable, because personally to me they are not comfortable, but we'll talk about comfort later on. Just talking about build quality right now. I have accidentally dropped it off my desk at its standing height, not because I wanted to, but because my cat was trying to get pets on the table, and the headset sort of just got pushed off the side and it fell. But It sustained the fall. There's nothing, no bumps, no scratches or anything. It's fine. The headband extends quite long and it's made out of this metal material right here. A lot of the headphone is made of plastic. It does have some metal on it though, on the headphone adjustments, and that's pretty secure. The ear cups do swivel to lay completely flat, and that's probably the area of the headphones that we should be most concerned of as far as durability goes. There's a plastic connector in here, and well, you don't know how long that's gonna last with the amount of swiveling that this thing does, because it just swivels wherever it wants to. And when you do swivel it too far, there is some creaking that you hear, but the headphones do extend quite nicely and they twist and twist as well. But yeah, there is some creaking there at where they swivel. As far as comfort goes, the depth of the ear cups they're okay. So my ears are pretty small, and when I put these on, it feels as if my ears are almost too big. I did take measurements. They are 64 millimeters tall by 38 millimeters wide and then 23 millimeters deep. So not a whole ton of space there for your ears to work with. It just doesn't fit really good. It is shaped in a diagonal way so that it can fit your ear inside, but there's not a ton of space there for your ear. The ear cup material itself is really nice, very plush. It has a memory foam material that will just expand back to its original size once you're done wearing them. They are fairly glasses friendly as well. I edit a lot of my videos with glasses on, and when I wear these, the cushion really molds around the glasses. Maybe after about an hour of wear, they'll start to feel really uncomfortable. The ears get pretty warm at about 30 minutes, but it's tolerable. Of course, we do live in a very warm climate and a warm environment. Keep our house at around 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you know, that's fairly warm, and these will get warm after about 30-ish minutes. The open back aspect of them does make them more breathable. But as far as open back goes, this feels more like a hybrid open back rather than a completely open back headphone. It just blocks out a little bit more noise and doesn't leak as much as like the Philips SHP 9500s do, or the Hi-Fi-Mans. So they're a little bit different in that regard. There's a lot of adjustment on the headbands, and that really adds to its comfort. It'll fit small heads and large heads alike. Alongside that, the cups themselves have a little bit of angling that it can do as well, and then of course the swivel action that you can do too. As far as really working in them goes, I can wear them for about an hour without feeling some kind of extreme discomfort or the need to really take them off. At about that hour mark, I get a really warm pressure spot at here at the top of my head, and then my ears get pretty warm as well. But the primary problem really is at the top here, and even if I'm shifting them around periodically, it's just not tolerable for me for an extended period of time. Alongside other parts of comfort, upon putting them on, they really feel like a vacuum. Despite their open back qualities, the soundstage isn't quite as wide, it's not as vibrant, and I really think that's because of how close the drivers are to your ears. If I push it in just a little bit, my ears are practically touching the drivers inside the ear cups. And alongside that, my ears don't have a ton of breathing room either. There's not a lot of air happening in there. So compared to other open back headphones like the Beyerdynamic DT990 Pros, where the ear cups have a ton of space for your ears to breathe, and the soundstage is much wider, especially in the SHP 9500s. This has a very wide soundstage compared to the Audeze LCD-1s. I believe that's because there's so much more space in there, and your ears are farther away from the driver, so it's just so much more comfortable, and the music sounds more as if I'm there rather than I'm listening to it inside my head, which is what the Audezes sound like despite their open back properties. However, I'm sure all of you are here for the sound quality and how great music sounds on these headphones, because they are $400. They're plain or magnetic and they're open back. So those are some of the things that you need to know. Music on these things varies from genre to genre. The best music on these headphones, from what I've listened to, are classical or things like Taylor Swift, Adele, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, really strong female vocalists where there's not a bunch of background music to accompany. It sounds really, really good. But when you add in more instrumentals, there's more feeling of the bass is a little bit recessed, and you can see that in the frequency response graphs, that the bass is slightly lower and the mids aren't as recessed as they are in gaming headsets. So the mids are really good and they're really level there, and the highs sound very accurate. So the accuracy and the attention to detail is really good. You can hear all the instruments, you can hear all the little sounds here and there. It's just when listening to songs that are heavy in bass or have a bass component, such as rock where there's a bassist, or hip hop or EDM, it sounds more lacking and not as vibrant and not as fun. But I am very impressed with the way that these headphones sound with female vocalists. Just really amazing. Just sit there and enjoy their voices come to your ears. It's so good. But of course, for the frequency response graphs, you can check out our website at switchandclick.com. And there's a full in-depth review there as well if you want to read it and check out all the information there. I'm not an audiophile, and I don't speak from an audiophile kind of perspective. I'm more of a consumer who happened to come upon a pair of expensive headphones and wonders, why are these so expensive and why should I get them over another pair of headphones? So in terms of noise leak, they are open back. So obviously there's going to be noise leak, and there's going to be noise coming in and noise coming out. So despite these being recommended for use on the go or with your phones, their open back properties really don't make them ideal for going out for a walk or going on the subway or the bus or anything like that at all. In fact, I would rather enjoy them in a quiet room in my own home, listening to music that I want to listen to. The cord is pretty long, so even if you're going out, you're going to have to stuff a lot of the cord in your pockets, unless you buy a new cord, of course. And then being open back, you can hear a lot of what other people are doing. When I work, of course, I have a pretty loud keyboard. I can hear all my typing sounds. I can hear Jake's typing sounds. I can hear him talking to our dogs. I can hear the dog barking in his sleep, the cat meowing at the birds. I can pretty much hear everything, and that can be a good thing or a bad thing. I like being aware of my environment and not really being trapped inside my headphones, and that's why my main headphones are the Beyerdynamic DT990s. The main problem with these is when I'm working and I hear noises that I don't want to hear. So noises like the construction across the street, or the trash truck coming by, or the neighborhood dogs barking. So noises like that I don't want inside my ears. So the music does leak out to people who are working close to you. It's not great for the office, the library, the workspace, things like that. But if you're just working by yourself and you want to enjoy some music and be aware of your surroundings, they're not a bad option though. But they don't have as much sound leak as the Philips headphones or the Drop Hi-Fi-Mans, the HE4EXX, which leaks out a lot more sound, especially at moderate volumes. So I guess you probably want to know some technical specifications. Of course, you can find this all online, but I'll just go over them really quick right now. The impedance is 16 ohms. Now this is really low compared to other headphones that I've used, and that means they can pretty much be powered by anything and everything. You don't need an amp. The sensitivity is 99 decibels, so also you can power it with pretty much anything. And the weight, it says, is 250 grams, but I can confirm that because we put it on the scale to check. And then the frequency response is 10 hertz to 50 kilohertz. So quite a wide range there. So to set up, of course, all you do is get your wires, connect one to one side and the other ones to the other side. They are non-directional, so it doesn't matter if you plug one side to the other or crisscross like that. Some headphones, it does matter which side you connect things to, but these, it does not matter, and they specially made it like that so that you wouldn't really need to pay attention to that aspect. So what is the verdict on these headphones? That's a good question. Personally, I would say save your money because $399 is a lot to spend on a pair of headphones. And alongside that, they're just not as impressive as I thought they would be. Even if these are designed to be powered by anything, phones included, their open back nature and the long cable just really makes it not optimal for going out. If you're going out, I would recommend getting a pair of wireless headphones or something like that. But they're really great if you want to wear them without having to get an external DAC and amp. But if you want a really comfortable listening experience, then I'm going to recommend the Beyerdynamic DT990 Pros. These are also open back. They are very comfortable. They are not planar magnetic, unfortunately, but they're about $150 for the price that I bought them. Of course, their cable is extremely long, and you do need to manage the cable, but if you're connecting it to an amp and a DAC and sitting in the comforts of your own home, then I would say go for it. Great music, sound quality, great soundstage, really comfortable. I work in those for hours and hours at a time, so I guarantee it's comfortable. And then for a wider soundstage, I'm going to recommend the Drop HiFiMan HE4EXX, which just sounded really good with pretty much all types of music, and they are not as comfortable though, so that's the one problem with that. And then I've read a lot of reviews online, and for the same price range-ish, people really recommend the HiFiMan Sundaras. I haven't tried them myself though, but I've heard they're an amazing option too. So I'm gonna say save your money on these unless you really want them, but there seem to be other options at the same price range. And of course, with that much amount of money, you can also get a DAC and an amp and improve your listening experience as well. You can check all the headphones that I mentioned in the links down below. Again, I'm going to disclaim that I'm not an audiophile. I'm more of a consumer that tells you guys my experience with products. And these are what I have been using on the reg without fail. Sure, they're not as expensive or the quality is not as great looking, and there's some downsides there too. They're extremely comfortable and they sound great. These are a disappointment, but they sound really good. I mean, amazingly good with female vocalists. So if you're listening primarily to that kind of music, I would give them a listen to, or at least look them, or at least check them out. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.